Thanks for joining us in the 11 Breaking News Center. I'm Lauren Watson, your digital anchor here at KKTV 11 News. Today I'm talking with the Senior Director of Communications at the Exodus Road here in Colorado Springs, Preston Goff. Preston, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Hey, thank you for having me, Lauren.
Of course. Now, Preston, can you maybe talk a little bit about what the Exodus Road is?
Yes, absolutely. The Exodus Road is a nonprofit organization that fights human trafficking crime around the world. And we do so in three ways: by partnering with law enforcement to help them actually investigate human trafficking crime, by training and educating communities around the world to protect those who are vulnerable to it, and then also by walking with survivors as they're on their journey into freedom.
Sounds good. Now, I know that human trafficking is kind of a big talking point right now in our country because of a film that's come out called Sound of Freedom. Now, can we maybe talk a little bit about what's the fact and the fiction, what might be a little bit exaggerated, and what is kind of true to the work that you guys do?
Yes, absolutely. You're right. We've seen a really significant uptick in the amount of people coming to our website, coming to our social channels, emailing us with questions about the issue of human trafficking, and we're really excited to get to really help shed light on what we see as an organization. You know, there are certainly elements of that film that aren't normative and aren't necessarily consistent with what we've encountered over the last decade. But I've been really steering people's attention to one real core element, which is just the amount of time that movie takes in the actual process of removing the two young children from the commercial sexual exploitation that they were experiencing. As an org, we've partnered with law enforcement, directly with law enforcement for the last decade, and what we found is that really consistent in some ways with how that film has set up the story. The Exodus Road has seen that cases take a long time. And actually, the work of justice and the work of removing individuals from trafficking situations is really difficult and really arduous.
Awesome. Can you maybe talk with me a little bit more specifically about, what you guys see in the work you do as much as you can? I know there are some cases that you guys can't talk about because this is sensitive information, this
Yeah.
is human trafficking. But just, what is kind of the work that you guys do?
Yeah, certainly. You know, in so many cases of trafficking around the world, what we see often is an individual may be coerced into a scenario, often actually by a loved one or by someone that they may know. They may find themselves specifically vulnerable because of things like poverty, because of desperation and the desire to care for a family, or for this desire to like live out this dream that they have for their future. And traffickers often prey on that. So when you see the issue of human trafficking around the globe, it's impacting an estimated 50 million globally. And the lion's share of the individuals that are impacted by the crime are actually those who are caught up in labor trafficking situations. And that could be a scenario where somebody takes a job in another country and the job doesn't turn out to be what they were told it was. And suddenly they're told, hey, you've incurred a debt and you have to pay it back. And you're going to work in this labor exploitation scenario. Or in some cases, you've incurred a debt and you're going to be forced to engage in commercial sexual exploitation as a way to pay back that debt. And so in all the situations, it's someone is yielding power, is coercing, has control over another in some way. And it can often be a really difficult crime to actually pinpoint and prove that a crime is taking place.
Wow. And I guess, what is your message to people who kind of have this new increased interest in the issue of human trafficking due to the light that's kind of being shined upon it right now?
Yeah, the message that we have to share is really consistent with what we've always said, and really what the U.S. State Department and other entities say, which is take the time to learn more about the issue. Like I mentioned, there are things in that film that are not necessarily normative to what many of the organizations around the world, like the Exodus Road, see on a daily basis working with survivors of human trafficking. So to lean into those sources and learn about what does human trafficking look like here in Colorado? What does it look like in the United States? There's some great resources, obviously online, that are available, but I would just encourage people to just be fact checking, looking for reputable sources. One that we consistently point people towards is the Global Slavery Index, as well as the US State Department's Trafficking in Persons report. On the exodusroad.com, actually, we've got many articles and blogs that resource reputable sources. And we are putting out information constantly in an effort to educate people about the issue.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today, Preston. And then again, if people want more information on the Exodus Road, where should they go? How should they reach out to you guys?
Yes, absolutely. So July 30th, this Sunday is World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, and we'll be joining in the chorus of so many other organizations that are really shining a light on this issue alongside what is a UN sanctioned day. So I'd encourage people spend time on the exodusroad.com. You can find us on most popular social networks. We're at the Exodus Road. And I just encourage you, yeah, like take some time this weekend on this day when everybody is kind of turning their attention to the issue around the globe to learn something new about the issue of human trafficking and to begin to discover your particular role in helping to combat it.